it's Jouelzy. It is Friday, and it's time for another edition of Pop Snark, where we talk about everything from the lowbrow to the highbrow and everything in between, because we are the educated, ratchet, smart brown girls. As long as your eyebrows is on fleek, we can do this right. And today we are grabbing a glass and sipping on some fine apple Ritas. But we keeping it classy because the smart brown girls, ain't nobody claiming to make this thought juice. Let's love these itty bitty little cans because they do so well. And then you're gonna stick the apple right on here and sips up so divine you can even rim it around a little bit. Pink lady apples are the best. And I'm gonna just throw the whole apple in here. Keep it real cute. So I do have to apologize to you guys because I missed Pop Snark last week because I was at the Oprah Life You Want tour, and I kind of upset myself on Thursday because I mistakenly deleted my Smart Brown Girls interview with Ursula Stevens. My own damn fault, but I was all in my feelings. I do still have the audio from that interview, so I am going to put the audio up on my SoundCloud. A lot more people have been asking me about the music I put in my videos, and if I have a curated playlist. I do. I have a SoundCloud page. You can find me anywhere on the internet. I always will be at Jouelzy. My SoundCloud, I used to, and I need to get back on. I do a Sunday Sounds playlist on my blog on Jouelzy.com. There's a tab, and you can see all my playlists right there. And I kind of give you a background of who the artist is, how I found them, why I like them, and why I chose the songs I chose. But for those of you who don't know, I did work in the music industry for 8 years, so I have a bit of an eclectic taste. Yeah, but definitely you can follow me on SoundCloud and check out Jouelzy.com for my Sunday Sounds playlist, which hopefully I will get back to doing this Sunday. I actually have a playlist I've been meaning to post for a while. Sundays come and I have a social life again because I'm in Houston and I always forget. It's like I really have to have a work social life balance here, which is new because I haven't had to deal with that for maybe 2 years. Last week, so we are 2 weeks behind on Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm just like, Scandal done lost me, girl. Like, I can't even keep up. Last week, when I was already in my feelings about the whole video thing, I had forgot that Tom was the one who killed Tom and Jerry. And y'all, obviously the tweet, my amusement at finding out that Tom was the cold-blooded killer. And people proceeded to drag me because y'all be taking Scandal real personal and real serious. And I wasn't going to delete the tweet because I was like, fuck it, I ain't really remember. I ain't remember. But people kept dragging me and I was clapping back because I was in a bad mood. So I had to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to delete it. And I deleted it. But Scandal in general, clearly I haven't really kept up since last season. I just don't be knowing anymore. I'm gonna forever still be Team Melly. I really want her to get it together at this point. And I'm just confused. So Papa Pope put Jake on to fall in love with Olivia to get her away from the president, from Fitz. So what part did Olivia's mother have in all of this? How much of my suspension of disbelief in this roundabout, is the storyline even still congruent anymore? I thought that the whole Cyrus's husband James being killed and Jerry and Harrison all was connected to Olivia's mother, but we know that Rowan, Papa Pope, has Olivia's mother back at the B613 base. So I'm when is this gonna come full circle and start to make sense again? Because I am just 5 ways to not confused, and I just don't get it. And I feel like you are trying to challenge not only my intelligence, but my willing suspension of disbelief. Because in order to enjoy fiction, you have to have a willing suspension of disbelief. That is a literary term. And I think you done jumped the shark on that shit, Shonda. Okay, and then How to Get Away with Murder. I really want to like How to Get Away with Murder. But again, I don't be knowing. That's why I ain't done no other recap since the first episode, because it's between the flashbacks and who's sleeping with who and who getting who fired and who having a relation. It's just a whole lot of sexing and a whole lot of Captain Save-A-Hoeing going on right now in How to Get Away with Murder. And so I think I'm just gonna wait until the season ends because I don't be getting it. But what I do get is Blackish. I love. I am a full-on fan of Blackish. This last episode about spanking was hilarious. And I love me I love me. Marseille Martin, that's the little girl who plays Diane Johnson. I am here for all of her. And the little boy that plays Jack, is that his name? It's Jack and Diane. Jack, he's a breakdancer in real life. I was like, this little boy does look familiar. He's been on Ellen. He's a little bitty bop breakdancer. I'm waiting for them to like play that into the script. But Blackish, I am here for all of it. Love it. And the music on it is awesome sauce. Amazeballs. Cheers to them and me being able to follow a storyline. Aside from that, I don't even have cable. So when I do, you know, legally watch TV, I am watching The Voice. I have just been turned into a complete suburban housewife. I get my bottle of Cab or my bottle of Pinot Grigio, and I am Team Taylor all the way. I love me a white boy with a guitar, girl. Taylor is fitting to win The Voice. I do like Menelik, even though he dropped the E, and so he misspelled his name. It's okay, boy. We know Menelik is the son of Solomon. It's all right. It's all right, boo-boo. But I do enjoy Menelik and all his Ethiopianness, singing his little Rastafari heart out. I don't even know he Rastafari, but he loved him some reggae. So, you know, I'm just making all sorts of misguided associations here. Surprisingly, I'm a Craig David fan because country music sells, boo-boo. I don't know if you know, but if I could redo my whole entire music career all over again, my behind would be right up in Nashville and country music publishing because they don't write none of their own songs. All that money clink, clink, clank in your bank account, girl. White people love some country music and they spend dollars. I am here for the white boys with the guitars on The Voice and I love it. And I think I might actually try to commit to being home at 7:30 or 7 o'clock Central Time. It's so ridiculous that because we're an hour behind in Central Time that I have to be home like an hour earlier to watch programming. And I am single and trying to mingle, girl. So that's happy hour time and I'm trying to be at home watching Voice. I'm gonna try to do better because I would like you to kind of join in on my fangirl moments with Taylor. I loved when Menelik and the other kids say, Troy is the one who actually Gwen kept and Menelik and gets stolen. Man Eater, they did Man Eater by Hall & Oates. I love Hall & Oates. I've been to a Hall & Oates concert. Hall & Oates is the shit. And I love. I don't even know the song that Taylor and Jordy did, but it sounded like some nerdy white boy shit and I was here for all of it. I loved it. Love it. So I am watching Boardwalk Empire, which series finale is on Sunday. I think I've kind of lost interest in a lot of the programming that I usually watch, but Chalky White was killed off already. Last season was epic because they had daughter Madeline, whose character I really liked. A lot of people said I sort of look like whatevers. But I am interested in seeing how they wrap up this entire show because it is strongly based on real life and it does follow a lot of the storylines of what happened during Prohibition with the kind of rise of the mafia, specifically in the Atlantic City area. And Nucky Thompson is based off of a real life character who did live to be 85. So it will be interesting with the progression that they're going with if they actually do kill off the Nucky Thompson character. But Sunday night, I will be tuned in with the rest of you at 9 p.m. Central Time. Renee Zellweger no longer looks like Renee Zellweger, and somehow I missed all the white women feminists kind of rising up against her. Crizzle on the Read and Awesomely Lovey of awesomelyllovey.com have already covered that topic. You should go read and listen to their opinions on it because I didn't even really know that people was like, I thought we were just all looking at the pictures like, huh? Like, I don't really know what happened. Like, I don't get it. There's quite a few articles that I do have bookmarked from this week that I'm going to get to reading tomorrow while I'm on the beach. The article by Jason, I believe his last name is Pratham, on Gawker.com about the new black. I will link that down below. I don't have an opinion on it yet. This might bring me to actually doing a video, even though when I start talking about race, y'all get real hot and bothered, but you know, y'all be asking, so maybe I just might. Rich Jouelzy, Rich Jews, because that's his name on Twitter. Hey, baby. He did an article about Annie Lennox doing a cover of Strange Fruit, which is just entirely inappropriate. I mean, is it really inappropriate? Because Strange Fruit really was written by two white men, but it is about racism in Black America. I don't know. I have to read it and like get wrap my head around it because it was written by two Jewish guys. It is about lynchings in Southern America. It really was made popular by Billie Holiday and then later Nina Simone, but I gotta read the article before I have an opinion on it. And what else do I have bookmarked? I think an article by Jamel Bowie about something about Black people because I like about his writing. He writes for Slate. He's a great writer. I myself wrote an article for Clutch Magazine about Lisa Price of Carol's Daughter and the L'Oreal buy, which a lot of you seem to be upset about. I have really very little opinion about this because they never sent me a You're Appreciated card, so whatever to Carol's Daughter. But you know, not to be petty, I think it's great for her. Like, it's business. I don't know why it's black people we are indebted to always being independent owners of our company. It's like, is everybody a sellout? White people don't have this burden. They could go sell some half-baked-ish for a couple mil, and we all thinking they got the hottest shit ever and they the smartest people ever. We go sell some ish that's really all the way baked, and people, oh, you don't want to sell out to the black community. Your price is gonna go down. I mean, it's access, and L'Oreal has a really big research initiative. Actually, my homegirl who I interviewed for Beyond the Valencia Filter, Suna, who's a scientist at Johnson & Johnson, has long wanted to go work at L'Oreal because they do a lot of research work in the cosmetics industry, specifically with regards to people of color and ethnic hair care. So don't sleep. Can we allow it to bake a little bit more before we start bucking up and having all these negative opinions about what L'Oreal buying Carol's Daughter really means for Carol's Daughter, because they still have creative control of the company. She's still sitting on the board. Inflation's still doing their marketing, which is a black-owned company. So, you know, just wait and simmer down. But you can read my article at clutch.com. I will clutchmag.com. I have the link down below. Dear White People came out today, nationwide. If you are in any city, you need to go see Dear White People, and don't believe the BS lies about it being blocked or banned anywhere. It's not banned anywhere in America. Fandango.com will reveal all truths to you in movie time. So go get you a ticket and go watch. As soon as I upload this video, I will be headed towards Edward Marquis Theater in Houston. I announced a meet and greet on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's kind of hard if you're not following me on these social media accounts to let you know what's going on. But I've been telling people, and hopefully people will show up. I'm sure maybe 5 or 6 will. Whatever. I just want to go see the movie. I'm going to go see the movie. It's going to be good. And I think everyone should go support Dear White People. I interviewed Lena Waithe, who was the creative producer for Dear White People, and you can check out that live Q&A, which is Awesome Sauce Amazeballs. Definitely be down below. Ebolas. The Ebolas has finally made it to New York, and I really, I mean, it was gonna happen eventually. It's from one of the doctors who was in Doctors Without Borders, I believe. He came back from a mission trip from West Africa. And I have not spoken about Ebola much because honestly, I just want to see how it's going to span out. And it's kind of hard to talk about Ebola in the context that it needs to be talked about, because I'm really not concerned about Ebola in America. It really is a caregiver's disease. That is largely how it's spread. It's spread by people who are taking care of those who are impacted with Ebola, whether this is medical professionals or family members. And so I'm not so concerned about Ebola within the context or landscape of America, because we do have infrastructures to take care and cure the disease, largely because most people in America who are contracting it are healthcare professionals, and so their jobs and their insurance will fly them out to the area, to the hospitals that have the proper wings to take care of it, with the CDC being in Atlanta, the NIH being in Maryland. I actually used to work for NIH. They got it, they fine. A few hospitals in New York might kind of have the care, but I do hope they send the New York guy either to Atlanta or to Maryland for the proper care. That's largely why the Liberian Thomas Eric Duncan did pass away, because Texas hospitals wasn't ready for him. Like, bottom line, the CDC lied. It's really unfortunate. I think Ebola in the context of America does highlight one thing, which is y'all need to get out and vote. And I don't know if y'all realize, but I think it's a great example that we were able to elect a black president, and that our votes mattered, as in people of color in America who typically do not go out to vote. But then we went and voted for the president, but we didn't get out for our gubernatorial, our local, our county, or our city elections. And it's just unfair to put a president in office, and with our own lack of understanding of how the government really works, not understand that we also need to elect a Senate and a House that will support the president. It's been very hard for Obama in these past going on 7 years to get anything done, because white folk really just don't like him. bottom line, and we didn't come out for the gubernatorial and Senate elections, and there's a bunch of governors, a bunch of Senate, a bunch of House representatives who call the Tea Party and other conservatives who are downright just out to make Obama's presidency difficult. Case in point with the fact that there is currently no Surgeon General because Obama nominated a Surgeon General, and I forget the guy's name, but he's been nominated for almost a year, and because he believes that gun control is a public health policy, the right wing has entirely blocked him from being able to push through with his mission for Surgeon General, so to get him confirmed and seated as a Surgeon General. Typically with something like Ebola in America, something with a lay person who's not a citizen, as in Thomas Eric Duncan being in the country with a highly infectious disease, the Surgeon General would overlook that. That's not something that the CDC does. And so and I'm not trying to excuse their missteps, but I do think this is a big example of how our lack of activism within continuing to vote beyond just the presidency will impact things like this. It just matters. And so I think with the elections coming up, especially in the South, I can't stress to you how much I really am over the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, in a state that did not opt into Medicaid expansion. I am one of those people who's middle income and therefore makes too much money to be on Medicare, but I don't make enough to pay for actual insurance. And so when I was living in DC, I had great medical insurance. I was paying out of pocket for it, and I basically lost my insurance when I moved to Texas. I'm not gonna have medical insurance for the next year. And because they did not Texas is a Republican state, and just out of the spite of being a Republican state, they did not opt into the federal expansion program. A lot of people in this state are not going to be able to have insurance. And that's across the board in the South. And the South has some of the poorest, some of the largest Black and poor communities disproportionately located in the South, and every single Southern state opted out of Medicaid expansion. For me, I've been very cautious about talking about it because I think that Ebola really kind of highlights the need for a better medical infrastructure in these countries in West Africa. And even though Nigeria is cured and there's no more cases currently of Ebola in Nigeria, I think across the board, there just really isn't any country in West Africa that has a viable medical care system. And that's why Liberia and Sierra Leone are getting hit so hard. I do find it interesting that the two hardest hit countries are products of America, or if you really want to call it a spade, African American attempts at colonization. And they've been hit the hardest, but I know there's kind of some contention about the West coming in to support, and it's very polarizing whether the West should go in and support or whether the West needs to allow these countries to do it on their own or whatever. But I do feel like as Americans, because of our history in Sierra Leone and Liberia, we do owe them some support in this epidemic. And I specifically think the Black community, if you have never looked up the history of Liberia or Sierra Leone and why their capitals are Monrovia and Freetown, you should understand our impact in those countries. We are obligated to offer some sort of support. Now, the question is the support wanted? I don't know. I can't answer that for you. But I think more than just throwing money at them, I do think there should be some. While we're over here bickering about universal health care, they just need the hospitals in the first place. They don't have the infrastructure to take care of this, and I think Ebola has definitely made that very, very visible. Formulate your own opinion and go from there, but I'm just trying to spread the wealth and the knowledge. Outside of that, girl, I don't be watching Love and Hip Hop, so I don't be knowing what's going on that ish. I don't even know if there's any real new music out this week. I've just realized that I don't get Richie Homie Quan or Young Thug. Even if they gay or not, don't matter to me. I just don't understand what they be talking about in the songs. Like, I don't be getting it. If you went to her last weekend and it was awesome sauce and balls, I will have a recap on that next week. If you didn't know, Thursday is my Smart Brown Girl day. So if I post a video on Thursday, more times than not, it will be a Smart Brown Girl video. That's the most important day for you to watch. I am attempting to put up videos almost daily, so catch up, girl. You need to dedicate a day to Jouelzy and the Smart Brown Girl movement, and get your glass of whatever and sip along while you watch me and Kiki, girl. Kiki it up. What issues have you noticed this week? What are some topics that have been of interest to you? As always, you can tweet me. I prefer if you tweet me, or leave a comment down below and let me know what's going on. All right, if I forgot something, just comment. Let's have a dialogue. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a kiki. I'm off to see dear white people. Clink, 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 clink. Cheers. Bye, guys.